My name is Sean Will Gary Beller. I'm the governor of the American First Republic in the United States of America. This is by the authority of a people on social compact. This was created or established on January 6th, 2021. Actually, yes, January 6th, 2021, by the authority of a people compact. A social compact is something that you enter in your natural identity without being regulated by any legislation. Social contract is something that's entirely different. Social contract are between persons which are regulated by legislation. People in compact, they remain in dominion over their legislation. People in contract have a legislation that are in dominion over them, person. That is the difference. Most people would not understand it. Most people would not be able to explain it properly. And most people in the Bar Association, they would lead you to believe that a social contract is the same thing as a social compact. It is not. The hierarchy of law goes from God to the individual people of the population, and then to a legislation. When a constitution, if there is a constitution, that is said to contain the social compact solely within the Constitution, can only be referred to as the unwritten Constitution and law. Now, I brought forward Joshua Eddy from the American First Republic Committee of Safety. It's present. Josh, would you like to say hello?
Hello, everybody.
All right. So this man appeared in a meeting. They proclaimed to be the California Assembly. These persons have never had first in time, first in right of the American First Republic in the United States of America social compact, ceding them the individual states' metes and bounds to independently amend the compact of the American First Republic and enact constitutional legislative offices or elect officers of their metes and bounds within that individual nation state. This requires a reciprocal acknowledgement of existence. The acceptance must be had. It's never been had in California. So there was a meeting that took place. What date was that again, Josh?
January 25th, 2023.
Okay, and you was present, is that correct?
I was present.
Okay, and I'm going to read forward a objection that was brought forward by yourself, and let me know at the end of it if not issue this objection. The objection reads, I object to Russel Gould's claim of authority over the population in California and all 48 contiguous nation states. By my authority being one of the people, the American First Republic, social compact, first in time, first in right. Russel Gould is not a party to the American First Republic social compact, therefore has no authority to disqualify anything by our authority. People of and metes and bounds in the American First Republic social compact is not ceded to those claiming Russel J. Gould. You are hereby on notice. Do not trespass. Did you serve this notice to Mr. Gould in his platform on that day, sir?
Yes, sir, I did.
Another notice that was issued, the American First Republic Compact covering the lower 48 states, and we would have to have our assembly of the people every Tuesday and Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's actually not. Okay, strike that, folks. I'm sorry. That was sent to me, and that's not one of the notices. That pretty well covered. The first one is what was necessary. Okay, we'll go from that. So Russel J. Gould was served notice that there is people in several states for compact. That's the highest authority. It's the people. It's God, then the people. If that's not ceded to a legislation, then that legislation has no authority to claim that population. Now we're looking at a document here that's being issued. It's been brought to me, and it hasn't been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, but this appears to be a contract between Mr. Russell J. Gould and someone who he has brought forward to agree with him, that he is bringing them into his court. Through his court, he claims to have a court, and he claims the red, white, and blue. It has multiple stars. It's not only 13. So I would presume, and it looks like it's more than even the 1789. Even when it got to 1861, it appears as though this is actually a flag of 1861 to 1871, which is a corporation. That flag that it looks like it's portrayed here, it appears to be the flag of 1871, the United States with lowercase t, incorporated. And he also has a stamp, a postal stamp that has been brought forward over here on the other side with, I believe, 1 cent is what it looks like. So we need to realize here that is a inferior order of political societies, leaders of military political societies. Is between leaders of military political societies, that inferior order that's under that flag that's being raised right here on the top left side. I believe that is now dissolved. From what I'm hearing, there was a bankruptcy that was concluded according to that jurisdiction's claim. That would mean that flag that it's been dissolved. It has no standing. Now there's Mr. Russell J. Gould, who is claiming to have brought that flag forward again. Captured that flag was his claim. I personally, in my personal opinion, not from the office of governor, I personally believe that was seized. I'm going to have to go in a lot of things to be able to prove that. I'm not saying that without a shadow of doubt at this point, but I will say without a shadow of a doubt is, Mr. Gould, you are on notice. There is a people in compact within the several states, 48 indigenous nation states, within the United States of America, capital letter T, meets and bounds survey by Benjamin Franklin. And we do bring objection to your claim over this meets and bounds and over your claim of any population with any of the 48 contiguous nation states. Even if you was to talk one of those nation states into claiming you as a sovereign in their office, they would be guilty of violating law. It would be a requirement that all nation states would have to agree. It would be a requirement that all of the people in each one of the nation states would agree. It would be a requirement in law. And this is something you are not bringing, you're not ever going to have. It's never been obtained. You may bring a corporate postal jurisdiction in an international world, but to claim a population or its meets and bounds without the consent of that population, all of it, not just one or two, not just some who are self-proclaimed. I said all of it. That's what the law of nations requires. So you need to go back to the law of nations. You need to learn a little bit about conduct and behavior of sovereigns before you attempt to bring these types of contracts into law, because law exists. There is people here. You're not going to claim this population. I object. People of the American First Republic objects. That's in my private capacity. I also object from the office of the governor of the American First Republic of the United States of America. And this is official. I am officially objecting from that office and that capacity at this point right now. I'm going to go through this contract here and I'm going to point out a lot of several details that people may not be comprehending. I'm going to ask Mr. Eddie to speak for his paragraph. I yield.
All right, everybody, how you doing? So it says vessel redacted. Okay, and I've got some information that I'm going to be redacting, and whenever I come up to a spot, I'm just going to read redacted is what I'm going to say. So hope you can follow along. Hope this is clear enough for everybody on their screen. For this porting treaty of this live life birth nativity treaty is with this claim birthing performance of this vessel redacted with the claim of the live life birth claimant neutral redacted knowledge with this gender claim of this redacted with this bill of this lading with this clearance of the contract claimant's knowledge with the performances of the parents, mother redacted and father redacted with this claim within this document, contract, federal postal vessel, federal court venue performance neutrality. And that is the end of the first paragraph.
Okay, in this paragraph right here, it is stated clearly that something is being entered into a port, a foreign port, foreign from several states, foreign from whatever it is in DC right now that's being created. So bottom line is being claimed as property in this contract, whoever it is that entered the contract with me. You're being claimed under a federal court venue, and it's a federal postal, as a federal postal vessel, not being a man or woman, as a federal postal vessel being claimed. Let's move to the next paragraph. By you.
All right. All right. Let's see here. Okay. 1. For this porting treaty of this live life birth nativity treaty is with this porting treaty of this birth with this performance claim of this claim of this claim life birth with this date redacted of this vessel redacted and claim life birth being neutral / claimant redacted knowledge with this sweat equity labor of this mother redacted with this bill of this lading with this mother redacted father redacted within this document contract federal postal vessel federal court venue performance neutrality. And that is the end. I yield.
All right, in this paragraph right here, there's several things that's being done. There's claimants that are being named. There's a contract being named. There is a jurisdiction or venue that is being claimed. Again, this is from the birth, the canal. This is when you come off of water onto land, then there is a bill of lading that is created. This bill of lading shows there is a witness as to the receipt of property. This is a property. You're entering an agreement in this contract that you sign that you are property under Russel J. Gould. You're agreeing that you've been ported into his venue. And this is a problem. Most people are not, they're not being given full disclosure here, Mr. This is a contract without disclosure is null and void. It's no contract. This is something that needs to be understood. This is something you really understand, Mr. Gould. If you're issuing these types of contracts, the full disclosure is absolutely necessary, or it's null and void. It's also been brought to my attention that Mr. Gould may be attempting to access this SQV trust for performance of administrating the affairs of the individual persons and restricted persons who enter the contract. Contract does not make law, Mr. Gould. It may change the way law is applied to those who are a party to the contract and when administered within the contract. But the contract is not the highest authority on law in law. People are the people in compact, social compact, not people in social contract. People in compact. That is the highest authority on land. I'm going to yield now, and I'm going to ask for the next paragraph to be read.
All right. So, 2, for the mother redacted and redacted of this sweat equity labor fee, or with this performance claim of this neutral claimant, postmaster redacted, with these 3-day intercession hoardings of the CPSGP, which again is up along the top. He abbreviates that. So what that stands for. With this performance of the live life birth treaty, with this date redacted, of this vessel redacted, and live life birth neutral redacted, with this birth hospital redacted, hospital of this foreign postal territory redacted, document, contract, federal, postal, vessel, federal, court, venue, performance, neutrality, with this cargo vessel of this vessel redacted, height redacted, inches redacted, weight redacted, pounds, eye color redacted, and hair color redacted, with this gender claim of this redacted, with this date redacted of this treaty nativity performance birth date, with this bill of this lading, with this mother redacted and father redacted within this document, contract, federal, postal vessel, federal court, venue, performance, neutrality. And I yield.
All right. Again, we're talking about property being ported into a port of a jurisdiction or venue. And when you're looking at this paragraph, you're looking at a territory that's being listed. You're looking at a labor, equity labor, and equity labor fee, and by claim of that equity labor, the product, be the child. It's the same thing that has been done historically throughout in the U.S. Inc., United States Inc. The child is treated as a product of a marriage, and by entering and making the U.S. political society with contract title state a party to your marriage, they don't give full disclosure as to being with property rights of all products of the marriage. Again, this is another very similar tactic is being used, and it's being claimed in equity that the labor fee um, is being transferred into this postal jurisdiction that Russell J. Gould claims to have. What's the other word for seized, Josh, that he's using?
Captured.
Captured jurisdiction. That's self-proclaimed. He may have witnesses to his his personal private proclamations. He may have witnesses to those actions he has taken, but it's self-proclaimed. And as we look around, I'm seeing a whole lot of self-proclaimed leaders attempting to capture an entire population, or seize, I should say, without a full disclosure. That's what it is, without full disclosure. So what you're looking at is an attempt that appears to me, which I'm going to have to bring in the process of law to prove this, appears to me, with all my education, research, and everybody I've ever time with, I've come to the conclusion it appears as though it's another attempt to enslave the entire population of this nation in a restricted person which never has dominion over its legislation. The way this contract is written, whoever enters into this contract does not have dominion over Russell J. Gould. By entering this contract, they're giving Russell J. Gould dominion over them as property, being his property, and for him to administer their affairs, to act as their curator for all powers of attorney. I'm going to yield with that and go ahead and read the next paragraph, please.
All right. 3. For this porting treaty of this life, of this life, birth, nativity treaty is with this neutral claimant, postmaster redacted, knowledge and neutral postmaster general claimant, chief, federal postal judge, Russell J. Gould, Gould's knowledge of this sweat equity labor fee treaty with these performance claims of the claim life earth treaty and cargo words navigation security postal road treaty with a foreign port and foreign bank contracts of this neutral claimant postmaster redacted knowledge and neutral postmaster general / claimant / chief federal postal judge Russell J. Gould's knowledge with this document redacted and vessel thinking cargo neutral redacted mother redacted father redacted with the claim within this document contract federal postal vessel federal court venue performance neutrality date redacted vessel name birth and vessel number redacted. And I yield.
Okay, here you're seeing that there's a number being issued in the jurisdiction or venue of this self-proclaimed Postmaster General, World Postmaster General, with witnesses to his actions. Each time one of these persons enter the contract, they're being a witness to his action. And the more of them gathers, the more, how is it that they try to bring a presumption based upon a preponderance? Well, a legal presumption is something on which a judgment may be rendered until it's overcome with a preponderance of evidence in law. Mr. Gould, this is not going to work out for you, sir. You're not going to seize the population of several states. It will not happen on my watch. Even if it was to be everybody in this that's alive today that agreed, it's perpetual. It's never ending. The republic is never ending. Compact is the highest authority. It is the principal which is indispensable in a republic. By your attempts in these contracts, evading the social compact will never work. The social compact will always be able to be brought back. That's the indispensable principle of our republic. It was created 1776. It was finalized 1781. The last Postmaster General was 1789. Ebenezer has it. When the United States was created, brought forward, was established in 1783, Treaty of Paris. And it was brought forward here and established in 1789, not something created here. That was an inferior order of political societies, leaders of political societies, and their societies had a contract, and it was titled state. Their contract changed or defined what a state was. Their contract defined what a person was, what a people was. They changed the words from "we the people of the several states" to "we the people of the United States," thereby changing who people was in contract. It didn't change it in law. It only changed contract. Again, contract does not change law. It only changes the way law is applied to those who are party to the contract when administered within the contract. It does not elude the law. It will not elude the law. To point all this out clearly and to make sure you have a full knowledge that there is a lawful rebuttal against you and your claim over this population, claim is null and void. Not given full disclosure. 1861 to 1871 new union of military political societies was entirely different from 1789. 1789 was simply political societies, an inferior order of political societies. And beginning 1861, it began to be military political societies. 1861 to 1871, all the way up until recent. Now, the flag that is being portrayed here in this document appears to be that 1861 to 1871 military political societies flag. There's been a lot of war crimes that's been committed with, and I find that Mr. Gould's claim to that flag may include him in war crimes by association. I can't guarantee that. I'm going to have to go through some due process of law. This is my personal opinion. I will continue to pursue facts, fact finding in due process, equal due process. Now, in the California Assembly that Mr. Eddy appeared, he gave notice. He did also give notice of when the American First Republic assembles, and the statement was given. The American First Republic Compact covering the lower 48 states, and we would love to have you to our assembly of the people every Tuesday and Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. That was also put in the chat in that meeting for Mr. Gould. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
the address to where and how they could attend the meeting.
So you did post the American First Republic Post Office website within their chat as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there you have it, people. We have a live witness and a testimony to the objection. And Russell J. Gould cannot deny that he put on notice at that point in time. This contract, we're going to go into this a little bit more. I'm going to yield and I'm going to ask Mr. Eddy to finish reading.
All right. So what you're looking at right now is the bottom half, and you can see Russell J. Gould's signature, and where it says seal, Postmaster General Russell J. Gould. Over the other side, there's a redacted area, and then it says, the neutral. I guess it would be the party or the person, or it just says neutral and then redacted. So for the copyright, for the copy claim / copyright 1st July 1775 by the neutral federal postal judge and claimant postmaster general Russell J. Gould is with this Post Road Postal Corporation treaty performance by this document contract federal postal vessel federal court venue performance neutrality foreign postal corporation treaty. And I yield.
A treaty is a contract. Again, contract does not make law. It only changes the way law is applied to those who are party to it or property within and administered from within. It does not elude law. Contracts cannot elude law. It only changes the way it's applied by those who are parties or property within it. This states clearly that it is a corporation treaty. That postal jurisdiction or venue is corporate in nature. It is not lawful in nature, it's corporate. So what you guys are walking away from is better than what you're walking into when you enter this contract. That military political society, though, that inferior order of military political societies, there was a whole lot more you had a little bit more dominion under that than what you have here in this contract. There's nothing that is there's no Bill of Rights, which actually, you would have to hold an office for that to apply. There was there's no Constitution that I see that's been brought forward by Mr. Gould. There's nothing that you could be elected into no office to have any effect at all on him. In other words, in this contract, you're entirely forsaking being a man or woman in the natural identity that has been bestowed by the Almighty, and you're agreeing to be held in restricted corporate person only. I don't know what kind of an idiot would do that with full knowledge, Mr. Gould. Again, your contract is lacking disclosure to those who are not educated. The individual that brought this contract, I've got a direct email that states clearly that they had no idea, that they thought that they was obtaining freedom that they didn't have before. Well, the truth is no, they're not. And I'm bringing that forward, Mr. Gould. I'm going to expose you entirely. I intend to bring to you a time and day certain on a platform in which you will have equal process and fact finding. I hope you're ready for this. It's coming soon. I'm going to yield now, and I'm going to ask you to finish reading.
That is the entire document that we have.
Okay, folks. This right here has been redacted to protect the name of the individual who brought forth the contract, and I'm going to attempt to bring that individual as a witness, even if they do not, contract exists. I have witnesses to the fact that it was brought forward and who brought it forward, although that name will remain confidential unless they choose to step forward with it. Is there anything else that I'm missing, Josh, that I need to cover in this?
I want to cover what that CSSCPSGP is this right here, its definition, and then also for the up here. Looks like
Okay, just read that line right there.
I can't read that one right there.
Okay, the one under it.
Does it say correct sentence structure, communication, phrase, syntax, grammar, performance? I believe is what that one reads. And I can't really make that one out. Something about, I don't know. I hate to even misspeak on it, man.
Okay, well, I'm glad you brought that up because now that reminds me. There seems to be a claim that Mr. Gould has disqualified every contract, treaty, constitution. Got bad news for you, Mr. Gould. When you're not a party to it, I don't know who it is that gave you the authority, who you think gave you the authority to disqualify something. When there's a compact between the individual people in a society or in a foundation of a population. Let's go back to Maryland State Constitution, U.S. State of Maryland Constitution, that political society Constitution. Let's go back to that and actually read what it says in Article 1. I will recite. A rightful government, people are founded. In other words, that's the foundation in compact only. It's not founded by any individual world postmaster general. It is not to be disqualified by any world postmaster general when he's not a party to the social compact. Even if he was to be a party to the social compact, it is perpetual, never ending. You don't have the authority to disqualify it, sir. I don't know what part of the law of nations you're not catching on to, but I see trespass all over your claim of disqualifying, all over your claim, your attempted claim to this population within the several states or in any one of the nation states. I see trespass. It's obvious. So there is no claim here with any validity from Mr. Gould. And that is declared at this point from the American First Republic, from the office of president. I have just stepped in. My name is Sean Will Gary Butler. Without the consent of the entire population, sovereignty has not been transferred. If any one of these individuals choose to take into their private capacity and enter into a contract with Mr. Gould, that is on them. That does not include any nation state. Even if that's what they try to claim, it's in fraud. I'm going to yield with that. Josh, would you like to read that?
Yes, sir. I'd love to. All right. So this is the Maryland Constitution, Article 1, text of Section 1, that all government of right originates from the people, is founded in compact only, and instituted solely for the good of the whole, and that they have at all times an inalienable right to alter, reform, or abolish their form of government in such manner as they may deem expedient.
Thank you, sir. Because, see, Mr. Gould, that right there did not include you. You're not a party to it. As they may seem expedient. See, that does not say as Mr. Russell J. Gould may seem to be expedient. The social compact is the indispensable principle because people in compact can always reassemble, and from that authority, without being regulated by any legislation, they may alter or amend or abolish any constitutional legislation that is over them. That's why it's the indispensable principle. You got to get back to the social compact. There's a first in time, first in right, the American First Republic in place right now that is holding this in place for you. We're waiting for each of the individual nation states to come forward and have a reciprocal acknowledgement of existence so that you're independently handling nation-state compact, amending it, enacting your constitutional legislation, and electing officers to said constitutional legislation. We're waiting for you. It's here. It's ready for you. We're a wonderful role model, the American First Republic, for all nation states. I'm going to yield with that. And Josh, if there's anything else that you want to cover here.
All right. So just like I put on notice for everybody else in California and to Mr. Russell J. Gould himself, you can come find us at the following, the AFR.org. That's THEAFR.org. And up along at the top of the page, when you go there, you'll see Telegram meetings every Tuesday and Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. So all you got to do is show up and learn. We don't charge any money. We do accept donations. Don't charge any money for any of this. To teach people their right is the duty of every man and woman in this country. It's our job to teach you. We ain't charging for it. So hope you all have a good day. Be safe.
I'm going to read that off one more time. TAFR.org. And I'm going to read this off in a different way. It starts with the letter of each word. Tango, hotel, elevator. Alpha, Foxtrot, Romeo, period. There's a dot sign, period. Ontario, Romeo, golf. Hope to see you guys show up on Tuesdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That will conclude this meeting and this broadcast.